Everything with my setup is really wonky. There we go. No data display. Ooh. Hmm. Just watching the OBS. I don't have anything else streaming, so it should be decent. All right. Gonna sit here for a minute and hydrate. Move the thing over so I'm not distracted by the dual feeds. The feed over. Yep, they're 91. Why is my thing so bad? I had better connection in the motel using their Wi-Fi. How's my home Wi-Fi worse than the motel? Hmm. Oh well. I haven't watched the entire. I just saw that Ruby was went live for brief time today. When I was leaving a coffee shop. Oh, it's like the coffee shop witch is like trying to poison me. But it's a nice place, and the people that come in there, it's like they stop in, and more like people come in because it's like a little hidden hideaway for a cop for like travelers to find. So they come in there, and some people like they look like they're doing recon on the place. Let's see. Hey, Kevin's. Oh, like Kinetic Hell texted me. All right. Yeah, yeah. Made it back. We have cloud cover, but it's deceptively kind of muggy. So I'm just walking down the street sweating. My bicycle, my bicycle that I just got a couple weeks ago from a used store. Well, this front tire went flat. So I have it kind of. I have like three bicycles down at the stairs leading up to my loft. Like three bicycles, five black tires, and five flat tires. Oh yeah, yeah. So what happened? What happened last night is because I didn't sleep the night before. I'm just so kind of just. So I went out drinking, which I do every night. So but it was like this relax. I just couldn't fall asleep. So I was up all night, the night before last night. So last night around 4, or you got to say evening, I drank like I have these. I have this cannabis drink, the THC stuff. So I had like it's 100 milligrams. I drank probably about a third of it. It's like 30 milligrams. And oh, I went to bed at 6:30. I went to bed at 6:30 last night. I didn't sleep completely through it. Like I would like toss and turn and go to the bathroom and stuff. Uh, but I didn't get any water. Like I was so bad that I not so bad. I drank water from the tap. When was the last time anybody drank water from the tap? Isn't that like poisonous and stuff? Well, that's it. That stuff's been on my agenda. See, like I don't have a vehicle of my own, and Walmart's 3 miles away. But there are other places to purchase stuff. So the Walmart stuff, like when I was there last year with one of the bicycles, or to get tires, it's like, yeah, you save money when you buy a 4 pack. I'm like, I'm sure that's true. I think they sell the 4 packs because they know people will just be going through tires constantly. The manufacturing is design failure. The quality of stuff is just so. I went through a 4 pack of tires on my other bicycle, a 4 pack in like 3 weeks. Like just these things, just it's just just go buy more tubes. You know how like I said, it's such a pain to keep taking the tire and doing this over and over again. So yeah, I gained upgraded stuff, and the other thing is people like to steal my shit. Like it's just a running joke. I have that's how like that's just our society now. I'm really convinced. Like I was watching Hutch. Remember that Mersh person who's like stalking and destroying the lives of girls that reject him? Remember that little thing that Ruby is going and there's that Mersh guy? Well, there's a guy who looks a lot like him. And these so what I figure is there are teams of people who just find a rich person. And I screenshotted and sent Jeremy like one crypto account that I can't access because I need help with things. I'm not doing the sending my passport over the internet. I'm not taking pictures of my passport anymore. You know how many times in the past? Well, I haven't done it. I haven't done it by like 5 years. But when me and other guys I worked with were into the crypto thing, not only between the crypto accounts opening crypto on the crypto exchange, but we had like stuff at the HR, the admins kept wanting pictures of our passports over, and it's like, haven't we sent you? What are you doing? Why are you losing our passport pictures or passport files? Yeah, well, you're talking about chlorine, and there's a guy who's trying. He wants to give me like this new osmosis because he'll take out the fluoride. Like the filters don't. Oh my goodness. What's funny is that before my bicycle tire went flat, which was yesterday evening, or yesterday after mid afternoon. So I had planned because where the motel is, and the motel is like a 10-minute walk from where I'm at right now. That where the motel's at, it's if I go farther, they have the water treatment plant, and I was going to ride my bike over there this morning and just inquire about like tours if they have like tours like field trips because schools that's something we used to do. And it's something that like Dave Attell used to do an late night up late with Dave Attell, the comedian show on Comedy Central. It was a throwback to like a kind of Mr. Rogers because Mr. Rogers would go and PBS kids could watch, and the one I remember the most, he'd visit people at their jobs. Hello, what do you do here? He just you talking to people and like the everyday people, normal people who have jobs. And so the water treatment plant is just I don't know how long I take on my bicycle. It's probably a half mile, could be a mile, not that far. So I was going to go and inquire about doing a stream, like streaming from a tour in the water treatment plant, educating people on, man, they're putting chemicals in Florida. Maybe. I mean, I don't know what kind of chemicals are doing. Sometimes it seems they're just selling more. Oh, you have to put. There's a wine bar. There's a wine bar that I got banned from because, well, allegations and things you said and stuff like that, right? Very, very, well, what did I say? They can't really, why you have to, you're assaulting them. It's like just like explosions. It just like, you said something. I'm like, what did I say? They can't say. Well, it's like, you're stalking. Why would I stalk Erica? I know you don't know these people. These are in real life people that probably the filters and the gossip and stuff like gets around and stuff. It's like, hey, oh, hey, hello, Hustler Club. Hi, Hustler Club. Wow, fancy seeing you here. I'm sorry, ladies. We have the internet. That's the internet age now. People can send pictures thousands of miles instantaneously. So, just whatever. So at this wine bar, they have like this little fancy machine, or like not fancy. It's like a canister, a gas canister, and she has this like needle that goes through the cork, and it's like, what is that? When I was allowed there, it's an argon, like the latest fad. Oh, if you need to put argon in your wine to help it taste so much. Whatever these salespeople are, just keep buying more stuff, sell more products, sell more. Oh my goodness, running around the argon salesman. Is that healthy? So you're talking about freaking chemicals in wine. Like some of these restaurants, like it seems, are they intentionally? Yeah, yeah, yeah. They intentionally spit in food. They intentionally stand in friggin' in salad with their nasty feet. They probably shit in the in the refried beans. The friggin' there's some people just aren't mature, and sometimes, well, so it's like, oh, there's chemicals in the water. You need to buy this upgraded. It's like, shut up. So, what did I call? Yeah, event planning. So, yeah. Hmm. Yeah. So for our Jeremy said it'll be looks like, because if Ruby has her squad, she's. I understand. I can't. I understand. It's she needs an entourage, muscle and stuff. People she trusts, and people won't trust me, so that's fine. Well, I understand, because really we're strangers. The reason why I know the reason why I'm like so interested in the Ruby is because trying to claim souls for Devin Tracy. Like Ruben's Devin Tracy's like rehab project. So it's a nice community, not a popular community. I mean, what Devin Tracy, because Devin Tracy I'm on YouTube. Devin Tracy got kicked off YouTube. He got kicked off. They just talking him around because his videos are documentary. He used to do these documentary style videos. Like, hey, is the media telling you? Are they reimagining things? Because there was a big push, like the Central Park Five. I think that's when he really got, because Netflix is a Twitter trending and stuff. The real story of the Central Park Five, and that's a horrible like news item. Can you believe anything in the news? Well, I've shut off most news. The only news that I really know is what people tell me. I'm seeing stuff on YouTube. I saw YouTube several things, and it's like R.I.P. Dolly Parton. I was having a conversation with somebody, and when I say conversation, a chatter, I forget who, maybe LCW. Maybe it was LCW. They're talking about they love Dolly Parton. It was like this thing came up. It was like, so we were talking on Dolly Parton like 2 days ago, I think. And there's a story about Dolly Parton because these days, because she's an elderly woman now. Back in the day, Dolly was known for like, that was what Dolly was like. She has a beautiful voice and everything. And that song on Love Will Go. What is that? Whitney Houston like really really brought it mainstream. Although in the 70s, Dolly Parton was mainstream, so she probably brought it back. Or was it Celine Dion? I forget the song. Was it "I Will Always Love You" or "Life Will Go On"? Some massive hit. The only Dolly Parton song I could really tell you was "Working 9 to 5," and that was in a soundtrack to a movie. Wait, we're talking about Dolly Parton and some about Dolly Parton and oh yeah, I almost or is it text messages? Maybe that's probably the chat messages. Maybe I wasn't streaming. Who was I having this conversation with? Anyway, I was like, I was kind of like a joke around. So, like, my aunt was living in my cousin's husband's basement. And it's really hard because, like, the guy owned a house. The guy owned a house, and then he got married to my cousin. I wonder if he owns a house anymore. Yeah, he got married to my cousin. She moved her mom in. She moved her niece in. Several people. Like, yeah, we're poor people. Apparently, he didn't know we were poor people. So anyway, Dolly. Yeah, what a coincidence. They're reporting her dead and stuff. Well, there are certain rumors about see, we have this thing, the internet here, and perusing, people used to put things on VHS tapes. People used to have their own private collection of things, home movies. This people didn't just start recording themselves like when they got their first cell phones. These camera phones, these like camera video phones and stuff. Like poor people never had things like this before. Like poor people didn't have that weren't able to record things. So now all of a sudden, what's happening is people have had like the latest and greatest spy gadgets and stuff. The people that think they had the technology nobody else had. It's like they won't figure it out. Yeah. Now all of my coworkers, but one of my coworkers is the one who turned me on to these like $50 pinhole cameras. And I went to the Amazon page and they have like pinhole camera, like you can put put a little pen and it has a little pinhole camera on it. Friggin' stuffed toys that have pinhole cameras and microphones. So there are so many ways like to plant these tiny little things everywhere. So he got this. He got one. He got a little one for his hotel room because he suspected the hotel cleaning people were stealing him. We're stealing. So it was motion sense, and he would come back from our classes and stuff and like review the footage because he could see the cleaning people that would activate when the hotel cleaning staff came in, so he could watch the cleaning staff and see if they went through any of his stuff. I was like, that is awesome. Could you also hide it and then like bring a woman back and just yeah? There is so much hidden footage, so much hidden footage these days. So I'm not interested in seeing people like the streaming community is interesting. When in Ruby's chat when she was streaming, I was just like I was in there for a couple of minutes, just enough to drop some some knowledge bombs and stuff, or just to educate people in history. So I read a book. It's at the library. It's called Pivot or Die by Gary Shapiro, and it's really interesting. It's like this history of last like 5 years, well, whatever was released. It kind of begins with COVID, because he's an event planner for the Consumer Electronic Expo, a big trade show in Las Vegas where people fly out and they see the latest and greatest of technology. Someplace I've never been. Like someplace I've never been. People go there and discover it, and they then they'll like market and stuff. So that, like the GoPro, all these things made their debut there before we ever heard about it. So as I'm going through, I'm looking at the history. He gives histories, little businesses and stuff. And one of the things he said about YouTube was first started as like a dating site where people could upload videos. Hello, my name is. Hmm. This and that was a thing. That was a holdover from 1980s. There were companies where you would go in and you would have a for people who had money to pay like dating and matchmaking services. The matchmaker services, they go in and they would they would sit in front of like a little camera and give a presentation. Like I am like you can watch this best on the dating show. See, there's an old was it a game? I don't know what to call it, the game show. It's called the dating show or the dating game. And they had three contestants, and that's how it begins. Like with the videotape a videotape audition, I guess you would call it. Just ways to try to contextualize in a verbal language that make a picture so you can understand. Because if you weren't there, and so much of our society wasn't there. So YouTube started out with people like, "Hi, I'm single and ready to mingle." And I think of that as I think of the huge number of streamers now. And are all these people like really just well, in the Twitch on the Twitch side of the house, which makes more, which is relies more on the kind of hot tub streamers. And I think this is cycle. I think we can actually analyze and look at trends and subs. Like if the hot tub streamers, how many streamers rely on the perception that they're available? How many celebrities rely on the perception that they're single for their fan base? Not to trick anyone necessarily. It's not a trick. If you fall in love and you're thirsting after a girl and be, well, there are people who. Well, I don't remember the name of the popular streamer because so many people have come online. So many people have come online since the lockdown, and I think even more people have joined with unemployment. Because when you see your friends doing it, doesn't it give you a little confidence? I was so worried about being made fun of. Even posting selfies. I can't remember the first time I posted a selfie. Like on Facebook or anything. It was like really nervous. I want to look good. You know why? Because MySpace wasn't marketed as for single people. Although before there was High Five, Friendster. These the social media seem to be made up of people wanting to put themselves out there. Latest and greatest technology, AI. Principles of Artificial Intelligence. Nils J. Nilsson. Oh, Los Altos, California. Stanford University. Oh, at the time that, so this was copyright 1980. 1980. Principles of Artificial Intelligence, 1980. And people are sitting here, oh man, they invented AI like last year, man. Whoa! That was 46 years ago. Hmm. Interacting goals. When literals in a goal description survive into descendant descriptions, some of the same B rules are applicable to the descendants as were applicable to the original goal. This situation can involve us in a search through all possible orderings of a sequence of rules before one that is acceptable is found. In problems for which several possible orderings of different rules are acceptable, such a search is wastefully redundant. This sufficiency problem is the same one that led us to the concept of decomposable systems. Oh, Kyle, are you referring to Public Enemy, Fear of a Black Planet? What was that, 1992? What year did Fear of a Black Planet come out? So anyway, you want to talk to me about AI. I've immersed myself in so much of the inflammatory, well, I don't know, is it real or not? On Poll, if you go to Poll, which oh my goodness, like I remember the first time I heard about 4chan, and the reason why I heard about 4chan is because they put out a thing that 4chan is hackers. Man, 4chan's a hacking site. You need to stay off of government computers and stuff. And it was actually one that was blocked in government computers, or certain of them. They're like, don't go to 4chan. Yeah, I'm like, I don't even know what that is and stuff. And then things start leaking out, and I think, did I find Twitter or 4chan first? What did I find first, Twitter or 4chan? No, it must have been Twitter, because when they started banning accounts, and there'd be references and like you can't reference 4chan and stuff, and Poll. So yeah. So anyway, I think the videos first I first started noticing them on Twitter where kids were filming kids beating the teacher and beating on their kids. Like they became so popular for like classroom videos, and these guys walk and start wailing on like the nerd and shit. And then there are ones where they're attacking and beating the shit out of the teachers. So in an education environment like that, it's like dealing. I don't want to say people are stupid. I just think they're fucking ignorant. Did you just discover AI? That's the problem. That's a problem. If you can't understand that book, you can use AI, which almost anything by technical is artificial intelligence that we use on the internet. Doesn't mean consciously aware. It's like if you equate intelligence with awareness and consciousness, that's a very interesting concept when it comes to machines. If you're going to say like augmented intelligence, oh, I don't know the answer to this. Oh, there's the answer. Well, maybe. But the more they kick people out, just like change them. It's like there's a book I read as recommended to me called Cryptonomicon. And it's a Neal Stephenson book. Wait, that one led me to a different thing. That's really interesting because he has another book. It's a different subject, Agents of Dodo. I forget what Dodo stands for, but it's like a Department of Defense wants to develop a time machine. And that way we could go back and preemptively change things, right? And then use it for war. Because, we lost it. If you're, what's that movie where Tom Cruise keeps on, like Mimic or something, where he goes into battle and he wakes up and it's the same day, or he's back in the training unit. And so but he remembers. And so each time he gets better and better and better. kind of like that kind of thing, but not that action packed. They're like, how can we use this to make money? And so anyway. The concept is they can go back in time and change history. And there's an interesting part of the book where they get around Wikipedia. Somebody gets in the time machine, and then they're watching Wikipedia, and they refresh Wikipedia, and Wikipedia has changed. There's like the history on Wikipedia has changed. Maxine. Well, they say that. Wait, no, Maxine was a Wikipedia editor. She was a Redditor, huh? I can't remember her name anymore. Maxine Giselle, or Giselle Max. What was Jeffrey Epstein's like companion? But yeah, it's like, oh, what changed history? Now, if you have like a Big Brother situation or Big Sister, I got a pack of smokes. I was off the cigarettes and doing the cigars for a while, and I just said screw it today. And I went, and they didn't have any of the filterless because, I speak, it's like filterless. Oh, those are so unhealthy. I'm like, what? Weren't there some microfibers and filters breaking off? Like products designed to keep us sick, keep us going to the doctor. Because all those people who get money helping us. Oh, anyway, so I was watching Hutch. I was also watching Peter Bet David PBD podcast, and I don't even know. They have like these two twinsies. All I know is shut up, Adam. But they have these, and they're constantly these two Guido type of like, oh, they have like the veins, but they have the Christian crosses, big like crosses. You're after the Christians, and then they're just always like so incensed, and they need to fight. And it's like those little nasty little fucking gossip queens. Dude, like the person was like saying like, TK, Tommy, you can let him talk to you like that. He making a clown out of you, Tommy. Man, like in the ear, you know what that guy said over there? It's those dudes. It's those dudes right around whispering and trying to antagonize people in a fight, because then they get kickbacks from going to the doctor. You have broken bones and shit, and they're your freaking they're nip tuck is. They're your nip tuck $500,000 a year Hollywood doctors. Oh, I can fix you. Oh, Helmsterback. Helmster Mac. Hold on a second. Oh my goodness, I actually had a lot of carbs for breakfast. I had at the hotel. They had like the little waffle maker machine, so I had like these four little mini waffles and a bowl of Raisin Bran, a little cup of pudding, a little glass of orange juice. Now, of course, I got waffles, so there's syrup and like jam that went on there. Helm Helmstered Helmster Red Mac. So many different interesting things when you have the. Yes, is it the oh, let's see. I wonder if it's this one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, a lot of people are just getting technology. It is new. It seems to be the thing that travels around. I have like weird like different theories. I have very interesting theories because the Middle East has so much money. Like, what if they had cars before us? What if Europe or those places, and it's like, and it arrived in America, and those countries blew up? Like they bring the technology over, in the place that used to have the technology, blow it up back to the Stone Age. Where did I read this factoid at? It was like 1830, somewhere around like in the 1830s. The original patent office burnt down. You know how when you invent something that you file a patent for it? What if you don't know? What if you're out here? What if it's 1840? What if the year's 1840 and this is like California Republic type of thing, or you just have these areas and they're not aware of the great powers fighting over control. You just have this society. It is what it is. You don't really care. You heard about Washington. They're like people, but you're just doing your thing. You're just doing your thing. And nobody's told you that you have to file invent patents in Washington, D.C., 3,000 miles away. Like we're like what are we? Are we like the coast, the length of the United States, 3,000 miles? You have to file a patent in Washington. There's some really interesting things out here. There are some really interesting things out here. And they match descriptions of like I don't know if you see I wouldn't know it. Barnes and Noble put apparently a book on my Nook. I don't. It was like one of their. It was like a complimentary book, and I was like, "Oh, a free book." It's called Thunder. I think it was Thunderstruck, and it's written a fictionalized thing with history. But you have two things going on. They give you lessons on the invention of uh, wireless telegraphy, the wireless telegram, as it evolved into radio. But originally, it was a wireless telegram that was done on wires. Well, the Marconi thing, the AM radio they were actually doing wireless telegrams. And the equipment that they had on the East Coast trying to send a message across the ocean. See, they were trying to send a message across the ocean. And the equipment and all that kind of stuff. So I've read this book, and it's very fascinating, the development of this technology. Doesn't talk about California or anything, but there are some very interesting things that I see out here that I'm like, what if a Fed showed up and you're like a citizen of the state, you know, because there's this thing about states' rights, Fed rights. So somebody from the East Coast comes, because if you read the Constitution, you're a citizen of the state you're born in. You're a citizen of the state you're born in, not a citizen of the United States. Not a citizen of the United States, by agreement, the rights. See, that's where this big argument comes from. Because before, the states were separate countries, or trying to be. So there's this evolution where they unified. However, you know, what the deals that other powerful people make, I don't know what's going on outside these walls right now. So imagine that you are a researcher, an inventor, that you're not even inventing, that you have like, anyway, somebody comes and then takes it and says, I made this. And they go to Washington, and Washington says he made it because he got the patent. See, stuff can be stolen. Stuff can be stolen. And this goes into the Amazon. Well, I don't know if you follow Amazon. People are making good careers running Amazon stores, because Amazon was hosting stores. It didn't have its own store. Once Amazon started branding under the Amazon logos and stuff, it was interesting, because people would have their own stuff that they might even have patents. I don't know. But people would have their own product. They were making their own things and putting it on Amazon. And that was their main outlet. That was their outlet, Amazon. And then they'd be like, Amazon, like they'd start having problems. Amazon, their stores would be shut down. And their portal to the vast amount of customers that Amazon had, they lost it. And then Amazon would release their own, their own product that was the same product, because they would just steal it. And it's so huge. Like the amount of court filings to prove invention. Like I wouldn't even know how. I wouldn't know how. But I'm more into history and how can we hold on to what we have. So I'm not really about getting more. It's trying because why pay taxes? Why fund the police? Why fund the courts? It's just they rob and steal with impunity. Like, that's where this call for this push for people into the violence. In California, well, in Florida, I don't know about Texas, but they're like castle doctrine. Like, do you have a right to defend your house? If people gather outside, if a mob gathers outside and they're looking like they want to do you harm, or even one person, or if you come home there's a burglar inside, like that's little defined because like Kyle said, Black Planet, where we have different. It seems we have treat people differently. We always have, right? Oh, wait a second. You don't even know there are different people until they show up. So arguing about who was where first is very interesting. That's a very interesting thing. Like, who was there first? It's kind of it's kind of like TK when somebody's calling Ibjaway, like the Indian name, or like an Indian name, and it's like, well, even even the change over time. They say there are no light-skinned Indians, no light-skinned Native Americans. Now, when we talk about Indians and Native Americans, well, this is the language gets interchangeable. When originally was it two different things? I don't know. Well, when we have so many actors just sweating because it's like they're not really lying. It's just they're meth acting. I mean, they're method acting. Method acting is where you, even when you're not filming, when you're not on stage, you don't break character. Hello, my name is Jacques. I am 35 years old. I am explored around the world. Would you like to go on a date with me, baby? Just constantly. That's not Jock. That's a schizophrenic. Oh, he's an actor. See, actors can do that. Normal people can't. See, that's why getting these things. That's why when we come together, whoever decides to come, we're going to have several different things. And one of them would be like, would you like to join a professional, like, association? There's like musical theater associations, pen and quill. There are different societies of people with common interests. So once we come together, in education, I've been on the website, and it has like add people to your troupe, add people to your company. They're acting companies. Well, if it's called a company, we can do other things. How about an acting company, but then we have a subsidiary crypto and day trading department. So we'll have that as a business, and we can like send employees back, company members back and forth. The things we can do when we play. If you want to play. So it's very, very hard. This is the way I feel, like all this like charges of racism against me. Is it because like I just pointed out that the dude they gave the award to isn't me? Not that I deserve an award. I'm not saying I deserve anything special, or Christmas presents or anything. But if somebody's like, if it's so far that it says, you're not giving him credit. He wasn't there. He wasn't there. Oh, he may play the role on the movies. See, there's some history. It's like they're just you all over the place because there's nobody. I think there are people they can't, but they don't make enough to live. It's like the houses are being bought up. In like 2023, according to like one internet search, I don't remember if it's Google or DuckDuckGo, because search results change. This one said it estimated that 44% of all real estate, like houses, were bought by BlackRock. Then in 2023, BlackRock bought 2023. BlackRock bought 44%. Now, if you like think about it, how do they do it? They just have people everywhere? No. It's like the MERS, Mortgage Electronic Registry System. So there's a web, they developed it, and licensed brokers and real estate people have access to it. And maybe they open it to the public. But yes, there's a website where people put available houses. And foreclosures. See, it also has foreclosures. That's where people are like, oh, it's foreclosure. I can get it. We can do an auction. I can buy it cheap. 25% of its sale price, and then I can sell it. If I buy it for 25%, I can resell it at 75, and it's a deal for both of us. And then I can it's that kind of mentality, right? It's just all buying and selling over the internet. So I thought Berkshire Hathaway. I first read something at Berkshire Hathaway had made a bot. And just like people make Forex bots, and it's like it buys and sells. Like they had this on a stock market, and Forex, which is like currency exchange. You can make a little AI robot that buys and sells for you depending on like programmed parameters. So somebody made a bot that would buy foreclosures. Like somebody put a foreclosure in, and their bot would instantly buy it. You would instantly buy it from this thing. So I'm pretty sure that's how they bought 44% of available listings. Oh yeah, first cut, it's like boom. Then they bid faster. They bought it. It hit it. You just have to sit there and wait for it. So buying houses over the computer is way different from actually doing the paperwork. So of our little group, like who wants to, because that's going to be a thing, I'm not saying it's a one-time offer because people can still, it's very frustrating. Are you gonna stay doing like porn on the internet? You gonna sell feet pig, butthole, like starfish, like cum coming out of the freaking donut, glazed donuts? It's like, that's where apparently there's huge money in that, except now, like with people's credit, because people can't get any more credit cards. It's hard to freaking go to ChatterBait or OnlyFans and stuff. Because in my computer, I don't know about your computer. Does your computer have a little accept dollars and shit? Because if you lose your credit, if the bank says you debtor, you haven't paid anything back. See, a lot of internet commerce is facilitated by credit. So, like people who actually don't really want to stream, just are kind of tired. They want to be, well, how much money are you going to make sitting in front of the screens? Like, you can either do this. Hey, where's my donos? You can do that all day and rack up the money, or you can walk your ass down for like your boss is such a slur word. Your manager, other people involved in the process. Hey, I need somebody to go down to the courthouse and look at the civil filing for this property. Because this property is a divorced couple, allegedly. Allegedly, they're divorced. The property was received through the death of the previous occupant. I happen to have a photocopy or PDF these days, who knows? But it's a copy of a death certificate of the previous owner. And then there's somebody else who died. There's so much interesting things in things that used to be jobs, used to be employment. But all that money apparently is going to fund sports ballers. Journalism. How dangerous it. I've come to a conclusion. I used to say journalism was dangerous. I'm like, more dangerous than soldiering. Yeah, because often those soldiers, most of the guys I work with, it's like, we don't do anything. We just following, and they aren't engaged in stuff. But sometimes shit happens, and so it's like these embedded reporters. Holy shit, Joe just shot that dude, and he just executed somebody. He's not allowed to do that. Oh, Joe, that journalist is talking. He's like, well, they have a very famous thing. It's part of the WikiLeaks. I think was it Bradley Manning, but it did make it on WikiLeaks. And it's I don't know what I don't think it might I mean classification levels stuff. Anyway, made on YouTube, maybe. So a lot of people have seen it. It's just like the camera because it's like when the helicopters they have like cameras, and a lot of dudes love that shit. 'Cause even me, they would show us the greatest hits of explosions and this and that. We'd be watching it. Well, this one was these guys in Badr City. They was names long forgotten. They're carrying their it looks like, and it could it's justifiable or it's a good explanation. Like we thought they were carrying rocket launchers. It was these Arab journalists or Arabic journalists, and they had a telescopic lens for like long distance pictures, surveillance. So how far away can they get a picture of things? Well, they took a 50 cal on the helicopter, and you see them just like blow these like it just tears these dudes apart. Terrorist killed. They called it, and it was journalists. I don't know. That's he's gonna be on Jeremy's panel tonight. Jeremy likes him. He's Jeremy's buddy. So it's like, why people are nerds afraid? Oh my goodness. Oh no. Are they that afraid of TK? Are they that afraid of TK? It's gonna be like a. It's gonna be like a Pulse nightclub thing. You just go and take your revenge on the nerds. Not revenge of the nerds. Revenge on the nerds. Yeah, he's an interesting personality. I mean, I need to like microwave my lunch here. And I have Discord on this thing, but I don't have it connected to the internet. I wonder if I'm still logged into Discord. That's not the file I'm going for. In a more idealized world, like scenario, I have a nice work area where I have computers because I like learning things, and it seems like a useful skill. So I'm on a Mint, a Linux Mint operating system right now, and wow, I have a lot of open tabs. And what happened to the? Why is this thing all? Oh, there's inbox. Okay. Oh, here we go. Yo P. Oh, hell, I have an unopened thing here. Oh wait, never. Yeah, there it is. Yo Peeps. All right, now I have this. Yo Peeps. Forget January 2014 retreat. Meant 2015 drunken asana practice. Oh, Sergi Peters. What's that a follow up to? Well, I think more than just me had had an issue. And go back to the. Oh, there's a lot of emails to read. Huh. Okay. For those not familiar, over January 2015, I went and hung out with a group of people on a, should we call it rehab or healing? I just don't know. Yeah. Okay. Hello, all our American dwelling friends, whether it be north or south. I hope things in the Americas are swell. Definitely the frigidity. This is from Ann T. I won't say the last name. I don't know if I can pronounce the last name. So first, a couple of things as follows. I and eTours too am still nodding like crazy. That was strong ass Sachap Mango. Oh, that's the name of it. Well, we learned different healing things. Like so, what it is, they gave us like this. It sounded like it was very acidic. So I recreate it with lemon juice. I'll snort lemon juice every once in a while to clean out my sinuses. And well, I don't know, just holistic healing and a little daily practice. So Sachamango. Yeah, we snorted Sachamango, but is it interesting? Ask somebody who's tried it. Two, I have been having crazy ass dreams. Some good, others not good. Lauren, you were in my dream last night and you were like, okay, so email me. Kevin, you too were in my dream. I lent you a book and you were like, it's too intense. I can't read it. Imagine my surprise that something too intense for Kevin. Sam, you were in there too, and we were back in Peru. We went back for a 3-week course and you said, okay, I'm sleeping with Lauren. And I was like, okay, I'll just sleep with whoever. We bought a ton of cool plants for our flat. Looks awesome. More energy. I started acupuncture and my dude is this cute little old Vietnamese guy who wants to be my friend and make me pho. Sweet. The first Sunday back, E and I were at the market and there was this lady there who picked up the mango and smelled it. And then the papaya and smelled it. I was like, oh, we just got back from Peru. Long story short, she is from Bahia, Brazil, and she asked if we could exchange cards, numbers. She hands me hers. She's a voyant, a seer, a psychic. So cool. Then I skipped out of work on the following Wednesday morning and met an American woman living in a small village in the backcountry working as a photographer, which is something I've been wanting to master for a while now. Anyway, in general, I feel worse, more depressed, more angry, and annoyed, but my Vietnamese guy is going to help. I guess you have to hit rock bottom to make it back to the top. And finally, Kevin, Eric and I are really sorry we didn't say goodbye. All of a sudden, we just left and it was too late. So sorry about that. We feel bad. But we'll see you in Jamaica. Sweet. Helma, could you please pass this along to Cieleto and please let me have her email? So how is y'all? We miss you and think of you often. We have certain songs stuck in our head. The recordings are awesome. We can't wait to microdose and learn Shapipu. Ha 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 ha. Miss you. Much love to you all. Come visit soon. Miss you. Anne and Eric. So yeah, hell, if it's the same helm, if that's a Helmstetter Mac, if that's you, like, has people escaped from the jungle yet? I think Anne and Eric might be the only ones to make it. There's some crazy stuff. The only people who were there can really, like, yeah, gobbledygookish. It was a spiritual retreat. It's called ayahuasca. It was really popular for a while amongst, like, the traveling community and coast to coast AM listeners. Yeah, we went to seminar. It was really big. Go there, experiences, get enlightened, get healed. But that funny thing happened in 2015. Didn't happen at our retreat. It happened at some other ones. Well, the tourists started stabbing each other. They started stabbing each other and murdering each other in ceremonies. Apparently, so it got crazy. And now it's 2016. Would I recommend going down there anyway? No. No, we gotta find some people. There are so many Americans that move down there and oh yeah, they're going to be the next Hamilton. See, it's a small community that's very famous amongst themselves. And a lot of people don't tell people because as soon as somebody tells you they've been tripping in, like, psychonaut world, and they were like, body and UFOs, they're crazy. But we know each other. We have to help each other continue healing. Continue healing. What is Don Rono? Is it Rono? Yeah, it is. Is it Romo Rono? It is Don Rono. Anyway, Mas Sufriendo. At the end of every ceremony, his, like, next ceremony, Proxima Ceremonia, Mas Sufriendo. So sorry, had a good laugh. I'm gonna go throw a burrito in the thing. Help. How bad have you been picked on? How bad have you been picked on? Ooh. Okay, give me like 5 minutes or so. Yeah. So I had a decent breakfast, which I usually don't do. So yeah, I'm just gonna have my monster now. I don't want to mix monster and food. Trying to figure what kind of combinations like that won't like have me up all night vomiting or things like that. I just get so excited. Like this is working with Jeremy and funding his project, whatever it is. It's got me views and it's got me have people talking, and that's very good for my mental health. Thank you. It's my brother is like my brother. I don't believe you. He's always like, I don't believe you. Well, once you get a reputation for like, I didn't tell people I was going down to do like jungle plants. I told them I was, well, it is true. I went on ecological trip. It is an ecological trip to learn how to like alternative medicine or the real medicine. You don't let plants be your medicine, which is illegal. In the United States, it is illegal to say let food be your medicine, or at least it's dangerous. So yeah, there. So if any of the fellow retreat members, I think it's Sergi. I suspect it's Sergi. I suspect we saw too much, and there are too many promises. Because one two of the retreat members were engaged, and they invited us. We were all invited to their wedding in October at Sandals Resort in Jamaica. Yep, we were all invited to the marriage of Sergi, and I don't know his. I don't remember his girlfriend's name. I mean his fiance's name. Uh, and I think he got cold feet and decided instead of I think he decided to just kill us all. And that's low, Sergi. That is low. Yeah, things kind of went a little haywire. Well, I was in the right emotional state. Also, I ran away from Lauren. I was living with a woman, and she was driving me crazy. And so then I woke up in Peru in like jungle huts again. Just so emotionally, like it was, oh, it was horrible. It was horrible. And these are like you people, you anons with your non names. It's really hard. It's really hard because I really miss people who are there because Jeff just says I'm a liar. Uh, but we're reconnecting because Jeff's a liar. From my point of view, Jeff's the liar, so it's kind of equal. He didn't have those opportunities. He's like a resentful person because he's had the opportunity to live a normal life and oh, to have stability, to have friends and fellowships. So, oh my goodness. Oh, God willing. I know Pastor Justin will like that. So there is an issue with the Silet. Wait, she calls it Sileto? Sileta. Well, feminine, masculine. So we just call her Sky, which is the Spanish word, right? So so when I showed up there and I ran away from Lauren and the retreat leader, the organizer, because he actually had taken. It's hard. It's just a long, complicated story. Probably not that complicated. It's just a long story. So event planning. So yes, it's like getting people who are interested in returning to a world before the complete narcissism and need to get clicks and views. Well, we have a need clicks and views to find people. Hey, that person's missing. Hey, how long has that person streaming been missing? Maybe they are missing to themselves, but some people might like miss them, especially when you get known as junkies and drug addicts. You know, all the normal man, you get that person's a crazy person. Hey, look who it is. Well, it's like hanging out with the anyway, not getting very much interaction right now. That's all right. I'm just hopped up on the excitement of having chatters and viewers for months and months and months and months. I have like zero views, zero engagement. Just hours. There's hours of talking into the freaking camera and microphone and stuff, and like no engagement. And now look at us. Look at us now, fellow psychonauts. See, one of the very interesting things is some of the retreats I've been to. The retreat in Costa Rica. I went to Costa Rica July 2014 to investigate ibogaine. Well, I needed something. I couldn't. My one of my brothers who is having the most problems and you, like take care of the squeaky wheels and stuff. So the one who had the most need for help. I thought about giving $5,000 and sending him on like 6 months, and I don't think he would have survived because he had a baby at home. And it's like when you have responsibilities. So because I didn't want my brother dying of a heart attack, and listening to Joe Rogan and well, who is it? Who are the people who were talking about they ran the Ibogaine on the Joe Rogan? Is that Aubrey Huff, or is it the On It people, or is it the same? So Joe Rogan was talking about Ibogaine. You know, it's very influential to his audience. And so I went to Costa Rica because they were saying it's like I was having massive breakthroughs with opioid addictions. However, every once in a while, people would die because it was so hard on their body. And so I figured, if I don't die of a heart attack, then maybe it's safe enough for my brother to go do. So I sent my brother. My dad was angry. But you got to do a Hail Mary because it was a bad situation. And we actually bonded after that. When you send your brother to do freaking psychedelics, yeah, yeah. It's like a lot of people blame psychedelics for getting us to that point, and other people are like, maybe it's just something else. No, I don't know who Reggie Watts is. Wait, is that a football player? Is that a football player? Huh. Yeah, Psychonauts. Psychonauts, when did I first hear that term? There was, I think, also Joe Rogan. I think Joe Rogan, he would talk about his favorite podcasts. See, Joe Rogan would turn people on to his favorite podcasts. And there is a podcast. It was an Apple store, or Apple has a lot of, that's where podcasts originated from, or the term anyway. Yeah, because I had an iPod. I used to have an iPod with the wheel. I had one of those types. It wasn't a phone; it was a player, and so I would download lit shows and listen to them. I would be listening to shows, and they had one called, I think it's Psychonauts. I don't know the host of it, but when you get communities of people who seem functional, they seem intelligent. Like Timothy Leary was a Harvard professor. Yeah, I think he was a Harvard professor because there are other Harvard professors, these people in universities, they experimented with psychedelics. And so we have this separation where, anyway, talking about drugs, is that encouraging people to do drugs? So he's even talking about them in public in a like, it's the worst thing you could ever do. Things can go bad. That's why when you study with these people, it's set and setting. Oh. Oh, so he's like Jim Carrey. Oh. Yeah, so he's like Jim Carrey. See, Jim Carrey actually lost a civil suit. Jim Carrey's ex-girlfriend's family brought a lawsuit against him, blaming him for her overdose, that she committed suicide. Hmm. Yeah, well, we're gonna have to bring in the man himself. We have to bring in the man himself, Don Carlos. That's what he's known. That's what he goes by down there. I don't know where Chip is at these days. Probably hiding. Probably hiding. It's like listening to his name was Carl by Devin Stack. Where I think it's an Odyssey exclusive. He probably has it posted other places. But if you go look at for Black Hillary, uh, evil Hillary picks, I don't know, because people get kicked off platforms and then they have different username. It's hard to keep up when people are constantly on the. You can't say that. Yeah, yeah. So gobbledygookish, are you hiding him? You hiding him? Probably at this point, what's in his brain, like what's in that man's brain versus what's in the computer. We're looking for that AI, not an AI expert in everything, but yeah, you talk to him. He has some interesting concoctions. So that's just where we're at. Oh, let me see. I think. Oh, I had a missed call. Oh shit. Who's the missed call from? Five. Okay, that's not. Oh, Dave. And you guys want a treat? Then press pound. You have one new voice message and four saved messages. New message. Can you please, Dave, can you please do me a favor?
Call Pastor Brown and have him unblock me. I'll appreciate it, and somehow I'll make it up to you in God's timing, okay? That's the best I can promise. You have a good day, buddy. God bless you. Don't forget Jesus loves you, okay? Bye.
That was a short one. That was nice. Oh, well, he came here like a year ago, a show up because Christians, they're so charitable. And, well, he wants me to call pastor. I've stopped going to church because I'm doing personal things. And since we were kind of at a thing where the pastor, well, it's been fun. It's been fun sitting there like the front row, just staring at him. It's like, but I'm just people have their own reasons for things. So anyway, this guy got kicked out of the church apparently, and if it's for the same reasons, if he's been sending like dick pic after dick pic, it's like that's why there's a like the F word. Why if you hear me scream F word, it's because they can't take no. He refuses. They're going to convert you. This person is a very sick person. They send like their erect penis bits over and don't you want it? Don't you want thucky come and it's like he wants me to freaking talk to pastor. It's a good thing we have civilized laws. So that was fun. Oh shit! Yeah, Kel doesn't have my link. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Kel. I didn't know that she doesn't have my. That she doesn't like. Well, why would she? She wouldn't know my. She wouldn't know who I am. Of all times. Usually, it's. Oh wait, if I go on here, it will show me my own channel. Uh, what is my channel name? Uh, I think I just used my name. Come on, no, it's not showing up here. Wait, if I go to where's my icon? There it is. Oh, view channel. Okay. View channel, analytics. Oh, right. I'll stay online another hour or so. hmm We'll see if Kel jumps on. Oh, where's my bag at? Mhm. Is that peanut butter on your floor? Where you look at? Oh, I don't know. Oh no, that's spicy queso. Mm-hmm. Pretty good. Pretty good eyes. You remind me of Steve. Steve Gook. Well, it's like in life when we have different social circles. See, I'm also a frat bro. A lot of people don't know. I'm not the best frat bro. Indeed, I'm a frat bro. Mm. Yeah, you got my law enforcement and my criminal side have like smashed against each other. Hey, Kel. Sorry, I didn't like. I put the phone away. I didn't like see you didn't like know what channel I was. That's understandable. I've recently added Gobbledygookish and Mr. Deadman and who else? Yeah, it's like yeah, I know the name in order to type it in. This is your tour guide. This is the tour guide, Kinetic. You want to enter into another world? You can go by yourself, or you can get yourself a guide. Biggs. Got this one. These were $1.25 over at Dollar General. I'll tell you the most infamous one. It was my like first or second year. It's like yeah, I think my first year. No, it was. I only did 2.5 years, and I actually extended a year because I didn't join until my junior year of college. If college had freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior. However, college lasts as long as it takes you to get credits, right? And I was on a 4-year plan. So in halfway through my junior year of college, I got a guy invited me. They had open, it was a special case. So I got invited to come join a frat. They hang out with them. They accepted me. So yeah, it was the next year. So they have a thing where freshmen, like it was a freshman type of thing. What was it? Help me, guys, because the Rolling Stones reporters we're gonna need to get the details like correct in this. So there was a thing, and we had pledge pins, and there was a game where you tried to steal the pledge pin off the shirt of somebody that you liked. It was a flirting thing, right? And so we showing up this big party. It was a play there, and we're drinking. No, we're not playing the pledge game. We're not playing the pin game. Well, there are reasons for things. There are reasons for things, and in this case, I think it's because too many boobs were grabbed. So I was like, wait. I was so excited. I was so excited to try to flirt with this girl. Well, I do some shots of Everclear. Yeah, Everclear. I think that was the Everclear night. Because I was sitting there and I went for it. And I was like, steal her pin and put her arm up, try to get me into getting her pin. Well, apparently the next day, they're like, you're suspended. that the girl, you broke her arm. So apparently, like when I was straight playing grab ass trying to get the pledge pin, that like that like it's well anyway. Yep. Oops. Broke a girl's arm. Went over to her sorority, like apologized and stuff, and I was suspended from the fraternity for like a month or so. I actually thought it should have been 3 or 6 months. However, yeah. So yeah, at a frat party, I accidentally broke a girl's arm. Yay! I have pictures of some of them. Not girls, I mean parties and fraternity stuff. I would have liked to do the entire thing. Sure, other people have better stories. I didn't live in the house. It's not a favorite. It's not a favorite story. But when people are doing investigations, and well, I don't know if you ever heard of the Virginia, was it University of Virginia? Anyway, it was a big thing. 2016. That was a very vital, like very hot on the Twitters and other things, like pushing back against certain cultures. I think it was before Kavanaugh. So maybe some other people who still like have memories of things. Because Judge Kavanaugh, they said he grabbed a girl at a party, not at a fraternity party, an off-campus party, but he pulled a girl into a room and started trying to tear her clothes off or something. Remember that? Remember the Supreme Court nomination? They had this guy, and his response was, "I like beer." It's like so. That stuff does happen, whether he did it or not. That was the big controversy. That wasn't me. So yeah, but Virginia Tech, there's a Rolling Stone. They said they because they went after, like, they're lying. Journalists are lying. It was a fraternity in Virginia, I think, where like, what, did she fall through a glass table? Where it's very interesting. I have to go look up the allegations of the things that happened at this fraternity party were pretty like. And then when people did a follow up, and this is all according to the internet, there was no evidence that it ever happened. None of the reporters just going after fraternities because they hate men and that kind of stuff. It was one of these things where they, like the White Man Brigade, which I am part of, like circled the wagons or pushback. So it's like, however, fraternity. If an essay happened at the fraternity house, everybody's guilty. That's the way we used to operate. We like ran. We had guys who ran type shit. The previous fraternity, see, we were a beta. The story is that the same fraternity, it's the same fraternity. I don't want to really say it right here until we got other people around. It's the same fraternity. The house, anyway, had bad things happen. They were shut down. The fraternity, the university, like, I think they were forcing to disband. No more fraternity. Not all the fraternities, just ours, or just because I wasn't part of the fraternity then. So when I joined, they were rebuilding. They had gone from like alpha to beta. There's like a level. So it was like kind of a rebuilding of a fraternity because the group before us had so many incidents. It's like we have rules. What was it? No shutting the door with a female in your room. Like no females in your room. With the door, but during the parties, keep the door open. Right? That was a rule. Why was that a rule? Well, I know. hmm However, the story about me breaking a girl's arm, that can be backed up because I just told you I accidentally broke a girl's arm. Other stories, other incidences. Yeah, we had a lot of passed out drunk people. Hmm. That would be. Because other allegations. Well, I went because I went. These young men usually what they have is a resident advisor, and I was asked to be a resident advisor when I was living in Sacramento. However, getting stable, being part of a community, living in a community, being able to support that is a we have a really interesting thing going on. So, like in 2001, 2001, when I got back that summer, well, I went in, what was it, November? I went to visit family in Salt Lake City where I went to college. And I go over there. I want to visit the old frat house. I have a picture. I think I have I'm in two of the pictures. I think one of them, I have short dyed frosted hair because I was like things are anyway. It doesn't really. My hair color doesn't match the one on the wall, and I didn't have a beard. If you go there, you can find my name. It's there. It's one of they have just every year they have pictures hanging up. We get these pictures, and it's the old brothers of the past. So I'm there, and I think it's the 2000 to 2001, maybe, or it's 1999 2000. Can't really remember. No, it'd have to be 2000 to 2001 because I had a mental breakdown. I had a mental breakdown, and like a subconscious thing, dyed the hair blonde because I wanted to, like, whatever. I bleached my hair for a while. I think one time then it grew back, but it's blonde in the picture, most definitely. So I went back to visit the old frat house as alumni and look up, and there's like the guys hanging out the window, looks hungover. I'm like, wait, are you guys having escorts? Are we like Duke Lacrosse? Did somebody bring strippers into the house? Did somebody are we having parties with strippers and escorts now? Because that's kind of what it seemed like. It's a discipline issue. When I was there, I don't think we had strippers. It's one of those things where you want to call the national charter, the national. Hey, are we allowed to? Can we bring in strippers to our party? There is so much. Could you imagine going to war over a no stripper policy? When I was contracting, we had a thing called a what is it? No, not code a General Order One Bravo. I don't have the entire thing memorized, but there are certain things you're not supposed to do, like have sex on base. It's just a rule. I'd ask me why can't you be having sex on base? Well, I suppose when you had a base with no women on it, it was like, why would you? However, then you bring a handful of women on there, and one of the women gets R-worded. 99 guy. Well, there's one female, but 95 guys and 5 females. However you want to do the numbers, the Army, Navy, these things are very male heavy. And when you get a female in there in a male, and it's not male only, perhaps it should be. I don't know. Or we just need to get more disciplined. Because that's like the kind of things that follow people around. In 2008, when I was in active duty, one of the women in our battalion, she was sent home. Well, traumatic experiences. she claims that the other unit raped her. Could you imagine getting that kind of complaint as NCIS? I heard Law and Orders. I heard Law and Orders in Reading. So Law and Orders in Reading, and yet some of the things I deal with are more of a Pete Buttigieg, the JAG officer. Is Hunter a JAG officer or just a regular officer? Well, they're the ones that in the military, the officers would be the ones, and the senior enlisted would be the ones that be doing all the paperwork for the allegations. And I don't know if somebody might be trying to blame me. Probably what it is. Did it turn out well? See, the thing is the black stripper, who claims it. Apparently, they say it was consensual. That was the issue. That in fact they did have strippers. The strippers did act as escorts. Why some of the fraternity members did in fact have sex with stripper hookers in the fraternity house. I forget what fraternity these Duke lacrosse guys were. Maybe they had their own. Maybe they weren't fraternities. Had their own like Duke lacrosse place. But anyway, having sex with a hooker in my fraternity house, I'm pretty sure that would be a no way back in the day. However, things have changed. Yeah, Hunter Biden is. I believe he's a major. He's either a major or commander. Well, he's Navy, so yeah, he's Navy. So it's like lieutenant, junior grade, lieutenant. No, ensign, lieutenant, junior grade, lieutenant, commander, commander, captain. So yeah, I think he's a commander. He has a channel. Does anybody had a Hunter Biden's YouTube channel pushed to them? They got on the other day and it was like Hunter Biden, and he's introducing himself. And it's like he's just focusing on art. That was one of the scandals that he sold art and whatever. Having philosophical conversations with hookers and making art. And being in the public spotlight, or having the entire the right-wing journalism calling for his execution. Can you imagine Trump, the left-wing FBI and stuff, they said they were gonna freaking charge Trump's kids with every crime they could find and send them to prison if they couldn't send Trump to prison. If they couldn't send Daddy to prison, they were gonna go after all his kids. It's that type of warfare. It's a lawfare, like good logic lawfare. So as a Navy commander, if he's in my chain of command, and if he's not, he's a Navy commander, and I am a petty officer first class. I'm a petty officer first class. I'm an E6. I think he's an E4. I mean, an O4. So on the hierarchy, if I was in a POW camp, with Commander Biden, he would be in charge. However, we can't seem to find any veterans. I didn't know he was interviewed on Soft White Underbelly. I remember that because I've watched enough, even just a few Soft White Underbellies. The one that stands out, the first one I saw was Amber. Amber was a street hooker. Amber used to have a pimp who took 90% of her money, but now she has a boyfriend who only takes half of it. So her boyfriend, he has if you have 5 girlfriends and you're all working, 50% times 5, that's good money. That's good money. Get them working cams, waiting for the big fish who will like, oh, I need to see you. I need to see you in real life. Then you can charge them extra. But yeah, 50%, taking 50% of all their sub money, their donations, their bits. Yeah, it's like you go over to Twitch and the website that Andrew Tate built. It's like all these. I back in the day, I used to watch. They would the guy, the handler, what in Chicago they call the cadet. See, cadets aren't pimps. They're lower than pimps. They usually they work for the pimp, because when you're really on pimp, if you have like 25 women, then you probably have 5 cadets. So you have 5 cadets, 5 women. I mean, 5 women per cadet. They have a streamer house with 5 rooms. You have like 5 mini brothels, or you have a big brothel. It's just a sex work. It's just a sex work industry. Yeah, so when they say like it's been proven, it's like it's been proven. No, that's why I'm like still pushing. There's some people that might say I was convicted. Remember, chatters, especially new people. One of my big gripes is that I have so many. Well, when you can be thrown to the ground and stomped on and kicked with people yelling pedophile and the police arrest you. Very interesting what the media is reporting. Say they want to have the courage to do that unless I was an Epstein. Unless I'm a Hunter or an Epstein or Trump. Oh, he's a pedophile. Remember Biden's a pedophile. They have all those pictures of him smelling his niece's hair and stuff. That's what it is. Look at this picture. What kind of man does that? Mm-hmm. Well, you got a lot of moving parts, and he's way high up there, so some people are more experienced. However, I remember how much Tate's being watched. Remember, Tate was arrested in Romania. Do you remember when Tate was arrested in Romania? I assume because he had gone looking to recruit new women. I assume it was because he had gone to Eastern Europe, like our Rouge V. Some people are niche famous, and a lot of you may not know who Rouge V is, but he on Twitter was zeroed in by he wrote books on pickup artists. He was his favorite when he got really how to date Eastern European girls, how to go to Eastern European, because it was really inexpensive at the time, cost wise. A lot of guys used to go sex vacation in Thailand and the Philippines. Other people wanted to go get like cheap white women, and so there were these books on how to go to Latvia. All these like poor formerly war torn countries. See, what I'm getting is that you need this war and starvation and chaos in order to go get new women. That they really depend on poverty and the men not being there. So here we are. We have a lot of politicians and other people are getting really angry that that we're not patriots. We're not like running off to leave and go fight a war. We did leave, and now we have no women. Have you noticed that? Have you been following? Have you been following the number of single and old veterans, divorced men? Well, when you're not there, yeah. So this is just there's so many social parameters, social issues, And they say it's mental health. Well, if you can explain your emotions, it's like, man, he's upset. He must be mentally unhealthy. That's like the tonk, 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 tonk. Like, why is he so upset? You stand like robot. You stand there. You take nothing. What the fuck? You invaded us? You're telling me that Red Dawn 2012 is real and we're like being terrorized by freaking little North Korea? Yeah, there's all man, China. Is that China or Koreans? Can you tell the difference in Asians? Can anybody tell the difference in Asian ethnicities? Everybody was flying eyes is not Chinese. And truthfully, I like listening to people talk. If it's a foreign language, I probably can't tell what it is. I mean, well, you can isolate the regions. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference between. I can't tell the difference between Mandarin and Cantonese. They're both China speaks dual language. They have Cantonese and Mandarin. I don't know the difference. I don't know what language Koreans speak. They speak Chinese. I don't know. I have 81 views. That's a record. Only 4 viewers. Ruby had what 80 viewers today. And one point they said, "Oh, you have 80 viewers." Well, four is like really really high for me. It's a kinetic hell. Are you still watching? Well, if not, regardless of the answer, I'll probably just text you after I'm done with the stream. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about the trip to Comic-Con on text, I suppose. Just looking at what books I have laying around here. Ooh, let's learn something. The Columbia Viking Desk Encyclopedia. What year is this from? It's 3rd edition. Ooh, copyright 1953, 1960, and 1968. So this is a 3rd edition, completely revised and expanded, 1968. It's kind of like, I mean, this is kind of, if you're from the internet age, this is like Wikipedia, but with not as much. Like, if we printed Wikipedia, oh Lord, it'd be interesting to do it. Just if any math environmental wants to do calculations, how many trees would it take to make enough paper to turn Wikipedia into a book? And now remember, we would need to go through Wikipedia the next day and do a new edition because things change all the time. This one gets updated like every so it'd be if you take one like the first volume in 1953 and compare it to 15 years later. Well, because I have plans, gobbledygookish. I have business plans. And the way I figure, I could leverage that. I could leverage an investment in Kinetic Hell into like a 20 to 1 or 1 to 20 profit return. Like, I think that I will receive more money or more property by working with Kinetic Hell than not. That's how businesses run. See, it's almost like as the world how stupid, how stupid are people? Are we really an idiocracy? Why? Oh, that's right. That's right. I come from a culture. I come from a Teutonic kind of culture. Apparently, not all Europe, but very in the central. That's like the most equal place where men and women are like. Oh, women in the workforce. Oh my goodness, gobbledygookish. How fast would you get fired for talking back? Well, I don't know. I don't know how you are with management, but where I work, many of the people in management are women because of the nature of the work. Like the payroll department, HR, women. See, somebody said that somebody knocked a woman's teeth out. Where I'm from, yes, a woman can disrespect a man. Is that the problem? Is that the problem? Disrespect? You letting a woman disrespect you? Dude, that's the CEO. Yeah, like, shut up, bitch! That's probably what happened. Somebody probably decided to freaking knock the shit out of a fucking woman boss. And that's why you're too stupid to live. People, I swear. Ask the dumbest questions. Well, I figure that women like Ruby and Kel, I think they're conduits that help me find my missing cousins who are probably too beautiful. See, society has been filled with people who, well, nationalism, right? Language, culture, and borders. Well, what culture do we have? I've been to places where women do not walk alone, where women have to be escorted, and it's a cultural thing. You ever remember the Egyptian Spring or the Arab Spring? Well, there were cases where American female reporters were raped because they were by themselves, and a woman walking by themselves is a whore. Women leaving the house by themselves. Oh, you don't leave the house. See, we have that type of thing. It's called cultural awareness. You don't you don't walk up and grab women's asses in Qatar malls. You don't grab them in Dubai malls or Kuwaiti malls. You don't be aggressive like that. That's cultural awareness. That's their country. Now, it might be a little odd that in our country, malls are where young people go to mingle and flirt and stuff like that. And in Saudi Arabia, they have moral police at the malls who are like on the lookout for guys trolling for women. Because in our society, we seem to be looking all the time. Every man of the day is a sex obsession. And BYU probably is over. See, there's some places that have called honor codes. Cronus, Greek time. In Greek legend, the youngest Titan, son of Uranus, heaven, and Gaia, earth, he led Titans in revolt against Uranus and ruled the world. Fathered by Rhea of the great gods Zeus, Poseidon, Demeter, Hera, and Hestia, fated to be overthrown by one of his children. He tried unsuccessfully to destroy them. Zeus later led the Olympian gods against his father in successful revolt called Titanomachy. Titanomachy? He is equated with Roman Saturn. Croesus. Died circa 547 BC. King of Lydia after 560 BC. He was to the Greeks a symbol of wealth. Allied himself with Egypt and Babylonia against Cyrus the Great of Persia, and was defeated and captured. Crusades. Wars undertaken by European Christians between 11th and 4th century to recover the Holy Land, particularly Jerusalem, from Islam. The movement began in France when Pope Urban II, at the Council of Clermont, 1095, exhorted Christendom to war, promising that the journey would count as full penance and that a general truce would protect the homes of the absent ones. From the crosses distributed at this meeting, the Crusaders took their name. Religious motives dominated at first, but worldly considerations were never absent, and the conflict between spiritual and material aims grew increasingly serious. The nobles hoped for loot and territorial aggrandizement. The Italian cities expanded trade with the Near East. All were lured by travel and adventure. The First Crusade, 1095 to 99, began with the march of several undisciplined hordes of French and German peasants, led by Walter the Penniless, Peter the Hermit, and others. They started out by massacring the Jews in the Rhineland, incensed the Bulgarians and Hungarians who attacked and dispersed them, reached Constantinople in shreds, crossed over to Asia Minor, and were promptly defeated by the Turks. The organized host, led by Count Raymond IV of Toulouse, Godfrey of Bouillon, Bohemond, and Tancred, followed in 1097. All save Raymond and Tancred swore fealty to the Byzantine Emperor Alexius I, binding themselves to accept him as overlord of their conquests. Their victorious campaign was crowned by the conquest of Jerusalem, 1099. The establishment of the Latin Kingdom of Jerusalem and the orders of Knights Hospitallers and Knights Templars followed. Learning just to friggin' learn. Didn't know that. Did not know that. Hey, I remember that because they were prosecuted. Remember they actually they actually went to full trial to prosecute them. That's when you had the DAs who said they were going to go after white guys. I don't know, Garland. But they're like, why is Gobbledygook like retract his messages? Hey, Gobbledygookish, why do you retract all your messages? I don't even remember what they were. Yeah, I guess because we're different cultures. Well, one of the guys who's like was vital and instrumental in me going down to South America. Probably wouldn't have happened without that dude. He was telling me his experiences as American living there, and it's not just a money thing that were looked at as having money, being rich. He says also that we don't beat them as much, and that we have divorce. That when they find out that in the United States divorce is a normal thing, especially in like abusive marriages and stuff, that they're fascinated by it. When I was stationed in Jalalabad, I heard stories. I had stories that like that these women living in the rural areas and the farms and stuff, that they would go outside and the only way to get away from their husbands was to kill themselves. That it wasn't unusual for a woman to go outside in a field and set herself on fire just to get away from her husband. The world is vast and diverse, and there are very many interesting people all over. I mean, there's also crushing poverty and things like that, and being like spending your entire life in a war zone. That's something that was explained to us, like trying to when we were there. Like, you got to understand mentality. You see, the people we're fighting, often the people are often also the ones we're working with, is, well, they called it a police action. Well, they've been in war so long. The kids have grown up knowing nothing but violence and poverty. They didn't have schools. Like the illiteracy rate was huge. Still, despite what people's sentiments are on the Duke lacrosse team, I would just like, how do we prevent this? How do we prevent anything like just no women in the frat house or the men's house? And there have been times when they've instituted those rules. The resident advisor is like, in this situation, I would just ban females from the house. This is a place for men to do self-development, to study. It's like that question: are we primarily in college to study and learn, or is it a party? Is it Animal House? Because that's a good sales thing. Come to college, a party. Imagine a time when women didn't go to college. Imagine being a fraternity on a college and there's like no women. You're just in a whatever, a fraternity. Do intramurals, you do song competitions, all those types of things. Hmm. Okay, Jeremy's gonna be streaming at 7 tonight. So the question is, do I want to watch his stream here? Or do I want to watch it on my phone at the drinking sake? I didn't have alcohol last night for the first time, and well, I can't remember. I cannot remember. Maybe it was only a couple weeks ago, but I don't think so. Well, I also, the thing is, going out to bars, and granted, this is more restaurants. We don't have like bars. We have restaurants with a bar section, and then a restaurant that doesn't have a bar section. I sit at the table and I drink alcohol. But those are places I can go and be like, maybe I'll be sane. You're more family than my family. Nobody contacts me. I have been so banned for rape. Well, all you have to do, see, that's the worst thing that we're discussing right now. But no, we won't have that discussion, huh, Swedes? Sweden. In Sweden, they're so about the change of culture that I was reading in articles that even female professors, they punish women who report rape by oppressed people. In Sweden, they've legalized 12-year-old marriages because that's what age the guys want to get married at, or that's what age they want a wife at. Is it 12 and a 13-year-old getting married? Nope. However, we have a cultural confrontation coming up because those men, those boys who joined the service after 9/11, well, they might have spent more than half their life serving their country. And well, how do you tell them that their girlfriend, that the hopes of that they're going to have a girlfriend and get married one day? No. We brought in so many more men. And with the rise of polygamy, where people come from cultures where they have it's a good deal. You get 4 women working for you. You send your wives out to work. Well, I'd be a hypocrite to say, hey, why wouldn't I would do the same if that was culturally acceptable? But then again, that leaves for an equally distributed gender demographic, if we're gonna use that term. But then we have a sliding scale. See, that's where this polygamy really helps, because those 3 guys that don't have a wife, those 3 guys that are low status, well, they have choices to make. They can marry each other, but you're gonna stay away from the high status man's wives, right? There's so much. There's so much, but I think that's why they keep the wheels moving fast. Because if we actually had time and got along, see, there's a country Joe McDonald song some of them that I think of a lot, and a Vietnam veteran still alive, fighting the enemy overseas, and I came home to find the enemy was me. Yeah, to get off the plane after watching all the propaganda on CNN and Fox and how much we were loved and missed. Friggin' the patriotic shows at the football game. They had the friggin' Blue Angels. Yeah, America, fuck yeah! You know, waving the flags around, marching like the reservists around the field, color guards, and all the celebration of America's armed forces. Boy, has that changed. Well, I guess that's only for the colored guard, huh? Or get it? Get it? The colored guard. Because when the white guys came back in, oh my goodness, racist. What? Just getting off the baby killer, rapist, murderer. It's like, what's going on? You know, it'd be nice if Uncle Sam would talk to me, but apparently that fat piece of shit is paranoid about something. Uncle Sam. And these are actually not general statements. I'm not being like the news. We didn't get